Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast with me, Alex Whiteley. This is an audio magazine style podcast all about the town of Shrewsbury, the birthplace of Charles Darwin, an amazing medieval town right in the heart of Shropshire. I think one of the best counties in the UK. This podcast is here to tell you people's stories, and this story is an amazing one to tell. A few weeks ago, I was at Shrewsbury Food Festival. Big shout out to Shropshire Festivals, who've always put on a great show. But I came across, like, you know what, right? I walk through the stalls at these events and I get like an aura. I don't know who I'm going to speak to. It's all organic, so I don't know who I'm going to speak to. I get an aura about, which stalls should I go to? And I see this one stall who is absolutely swamped by people. And I go and take a look, and their branding is on point. I see that they've got flavoured scratchings. I've never seen flavoured scratchings like that before. The uniforms are on point, and people are scrambling for their product. And so I go over and say hello with my microphone in my hand, and we have a quick chat. And he's like, "We're nearly sold out of all of our stock, Alex." And I was like, "Wow." So I was like, "Oh, this company has got to be around for a while." I asked them, and there was a 6 weeks old company. And it just blew me away that these guys are just rocked up into Shrewsbury at a food festival and sold out all of their inventory. So I was like, these guys have got, there's something special going on here. Cut back to like 3 weeks later, I'm at the open day for the Shrewsbury Town Football Club. I'm a big Shrewsbury Town fan, season ticket holder for my sins, and they're there, and they're telling me they're now at the football stadium. There are various shops, for butchers and pubs and things around Shrewsbury, and things were really kicking off. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. A couple of weeks later, again, I'm at the football club, the one of the home games. I see some guy eating some. I went to go and get some actually. Some of the Shropshire Scratching Company scratchings, and I looked at him, nodded. I was like, "They good, don't they?" And he's like, "These are the best scratchings I've ever had." A week later, we go to the Brooklands. They're there. That same day, I went to get one of the best pork baps. I mentioned it on the last podcast. One of the best pork baps in Shrewsbury, the butchers in Coleham, and they're there as well. The Scratching Company. These guys are just blown up, right? They're absolutely, people just want their product. And as I'm recording this now, I am looking at their website. Go to, literally do it now, right? Go to the Shropshire Scratching Company.com and look at the picture that they've got on their website. A bowl of succulent looking pork scratchings, and I'm salivating just looking at these bad boys. This is a good one. I tell people stories, but this is going quick. You know, they've created a product that people seem to like, and I'm very, very happy to bring this one to you guys. We recorded it at Cromwell's, which is the pub on Dogpole in Shrewsbury. Really nice place. But apparently this was the place of conception. It's where they got the idea for the Scratching Company, Shropshire Scratching Company. So I was like, it was best place to record it, really. So I got in touch with Cromwell, so they were very happy that we'd set up there, so we did. Yeah, really happy with this episode. Hope you enjoy it. Well, before we get into it though, I need to remind you guys that the Shrewsbury Biscuit, for some reason or other, has been nominated for a UK Independent Podcast Award. Go to the website, UK Independent Podcast Awards, go down to the lifestyle category, scroll across, and you'll see the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast there. I'm absolutely blown away. I don't do this podcast for awards, money, like I don't do it for the numbers or anything like that. I do it because I get bored and I have like these creative pangs and I need to do stuff with myself, that's literally why I do this. So to be nominated for something like that amongst such great company is just blows my mind. So there's also a dedicated playlist that Apple Podcasts themselves have put together because they love these awards. So if you go to the website, you can find the link for that playlist and obviously the Shrewsbury Biscuit features. Apple Podcasts want to meet us as well, the nominees. So we'll be going to Battersea in a couple of weeks to meet us. It's all going on, man. It really is. It's getting a bit much, but I love it. Okay. I'll catch you guys at the end of this one because there is an episode coming up that I want to tell you about, so stick around after the feature interview. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of the Shropshire Scratching Company. I've been whittling on for 5 minutes, can you believe that? Hope you enjoy this one, guys. I'll catch you at the end. Hey guys, welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley.
And I'm Timmy Whiteley.
Let me just... You're number 2, aren't you? Try that again.
And I'm Timmy Whiteley.
Yeah, there you are. You are Timmy Whiteley, a.k.a...
Mini Biscuit.
Mini Biscuit. And we're bringing a podcast to you that's been very quickly turned around since the food festival, because you may... If you follow my social media, I'm becoming a bit obsessed with a company that I feel like is just blossoming right now. Like straight from out the gates, Shrewsbury Food Festival, I met the Shropshire Scratching Company. We did a small interview there, and I was like, I need to get you on the podcast. Now, those things, when I do those invitations, don't always come to fruition, but I feel like since learning about where this company's gone, even from the food festival, I felt like we need to put the foot down and get this on. And in fact, the company would get in touch with me saying, we're doing some amazing things, we need to come on the podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to you the Shropshire Scratching Company. So, do you want to go around the table and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Tom. From the Shropshire Scratching Company.
I'm Brett, also from the Shropshire Scratching Company.
And I'm Percy, and I'm from the Shropshire Scratching Company.
All from the Shropshire Scratching Company. Brilliant. And that food festival was insane, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We couldn't believe the amount of people who... Well, at one point, we were actually completely stressing about the fact that we couldn't get to people fast enough. And it was just one of the most amazing experiences for us as a company. And the fact that I think at that point we were about 6 weeks old.
About 6.
Yeah, it was about 6 weeks. We got to a point when we were actually essentially losing business because we couldn't serve people, could we? It was mental.
It was easily the maddest 2 hours of my life.
And as someone going around with a microphone trying to be as fair as you possibly can, because it's easy to miss people out. I mean, when I'm at the festival, I mean, usually what I tend to do is hang around backstage and try and get the dirty rock and scoundrel on the mic. I mean, that's what we normally do, isn't it, Timmy? Yeah. But this year I was like, no, food only. So we sat at the demo stage for most of the weekend. We got some great interviews, and I only had a little bit of time to walk around the stalls, right? And you see the same people there every year, which is amazing to see, by the way, because you know they're still in business and you know they're still thriving and doing well. But then you see new people, and it's really hard to try and find the right people to speak to. But I saw this bustling crowd around you guys, and it was really not that hard to be able to be like, these are the people we need to speak to. What went into the preparation just for that weekend alone, just to make sure you got it right?
I think probably the biggest thing that we'd got to make sure we got right was the stock, the staff. Without that, you've got nothing really when you turn up to anywhere in any business. But in all fairness, I think the most important thing was the branding that we actually put together. The whole aesthetic of how it looks, it's exactly as it should be because of the product that it is. And we genuinely thought we'd got it right. Everybody's been involved in the journey right from the start. And we just thought, actually, this is probably the perfect place to test this out, to put it in front of everybody. If it doesn't work here, it's probably not going to work. If it does work here, it's probably going to work really well.
It seems like an episode of The Apprentice, doesn't it? What, you're going to go to somewhere where there's lots of food, lots of competition, and flog food? I mean, how to stand out in a crowd like that? I mean,
Tom, you're fired.
I love that. But we got to talk about, like, I mean, we were at Cromwell's Tap House today because I think you guys said this is where the idea was conceived, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back in time, I think. I want to talk about life before the Shropshire Scratching Company, what you guys do or did there back then before life. I mean, Brett, what were you doing before this?
I've always been involved in the automotive industry, believe it or not.
Yeah.
At quite a senior level for quite a long time. Decided at the end of 2022 that actually this wasn't for me anymore. I wanted to change a complete direction of where I was.
Which for a mechanic or someone involved is really weird. I mean, we're best friends with a mechanic, and I can't imagine him doing anything else.
Yeah, well, to be honest, it's still probably a big part of me as a person. But I just got to a point where I thought I just want to do something different, and I want to look at a different side of maybe even that industry. So I've always been pretty good with marketing, branding, creating something from nothing. So I thought, well, actually, rather than do it for other people, I'll try and do it for myself. So started off in 2023, and I set up a company essentially that would be marketing and branding and really sort of bespoke premium products to help companies push their brands, their ranges, whether that's a new company, whether that's an existing company with new ranges that they want to push. And then I suppose really just I suppose previous to that in that industry, it just cars and automotive have always been in my blood. That's me.
Okay,
that's pretty much me.
Tom.
Yeah. So I'm only 19, and when I turned 16, I was like, I want to get a job, and my plan was always to go to university. So I want to get a job that I can progress in. It's going to be sturdy when I go to uni. So I started as a pot wash at a restaurant in Shrewsbury. Worked my way up, and then ended up being a chef, and then moved to the Beefy Boys.
Ah, that's a big shout out to Beefy Boys. So you know Liam then?
I'd never worked for Liam.
Oh,
I joined literally just after he'd left.
Oh,
I worked for Jake. I don't know if you know Jake. Jake knew I worked for Jake. Stayed there for about a year, just basically building myself up, and then actually moved to be a chef here.
Oh, Cromwell's, okay.
Yeah, so I was a chef at Cromwell's for about 6 to 8 months, and then ended up going back to Beefy Boys just before I started working for my dad in the creative marketing side of things before I went off to uni. So I was doing a week with him and then doing Beefy Boys on the side at the weekends. Went to uni to study fashion design, and then over the Christmas period when I came back, I was working for my dad in the office, and I basically said, can I just come back? Because I loved it so much. So I came back, and it was about the December time when the sort of scratching started to appear, the idea of the scratchings.
I love that. So, I mean, like, you found your way into food. I mean, food is... I mean, what's it like being in a restaurant for you?
It's crazy. It is, honestly...
Did you enjoy it, though?
Yeah, I loved it. Loved every second of it. But when I came back, and because I was a chef in Sheffield briefly when I was at university, a barbecue restaurant called Smoke. And when I came back and I was in the office working with him and doing all the sort of creative sort of stuff that I enjoy doing, I was like, I just want to come back. I just want to come back if you'll let me come back.
What did we watch at home, Timmy? What TV show were we watching?
The Bear.
The Bear, which is very sweary for a 10-year-old to watch, but I love. I don't know if anybody's seen that show. Yeah. It's the oh my God. I mean, if you're a foodie, you're going to love that show. But the fact that it's so anxiety driven, you get so much anxiety from watching. It means they're doing a good job on the screen, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the life of a chef. I mean, I know that's probably over exaggerated. It's not as chaotic as they make it seem all the time. But like, just to be involved with something that's successful seems great. What about you, Percy?
Me? Well, I'm the only one who's not family. Essentially,
we think of you as family.
Look, I feel like family, you know. My background is in retail. I worked a lot for IKEA. That's where I got my customer service skills. Moved to Timpson's. You're familiar with Timpson's? The keys and the watches.
Yeah.
I worked in a lot of sort of service things. And I wanted to really be a salesman. And I got into insurance, which I enjoyed. But I got to meet all these people, and I got to learn a lot about meeting people, how to communicate and whatnot. And I'd been in there a couple of years, and a mutual friend of ours actually texted me, and he said, I've got a job that's perfect for you. You might want to speak to him.
And that mutual friend, just to add, was also here at Cromwell's.
He was
when we decided that we were going to launch a Scratchings brand.
I love that Cromwell's the epicenter of everything.
Correct.
Let's still get to stock our Scratchings at this point, by the way.
We'll have to have a keen word with them on you.
We'll be speaking after this.
So this is where it all started. I love this, though. I love that being a kind of a guy who, I guess I had to teach myself graphic design with the podcastings, all the logos, designs, the pod art. I mean, the logo that we have at the moment was very kindly gifted to us by Web Orchard, our sponsors, and they did a great job. But all the logos before them was all done by me. And like, I mean, even when I'm editing audio, editing video, I always talk about the Tony Stark thing, because like, I feel like that's the thing. AC/DC on in the background where Tony Stark's in the garage messing with, tinkering. That's me but with you, marketing, branding, creating ideas.
Yeah,
it's infectious, right?
Oh, 100%, absolutely. I think we were literally having a massive conversation when we were stuck in the traffic, just coming up here now, just about how we can push the creative part of our business, which is literally sitting straight underneath the Scratchings brand, how we can push that in general out, because I think we've done a really good job at the way we've put that together. The receptions have been really well taken, and for me, I just wouldn't want to work in any other sort of sector where I haven't got that ability to just literally sit there and think of something ridiculous and then say, actually, we're going to go and do that.
I think you get that from me, don't you, Timmy? The creative thing. Because what do? You like to sit in your drawer, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, get into the microphone, you like creating things, don't you?
Yeah. I've been drawing my own anime characters, so yeah.
Your own anime characters, but you got your own YouTube channel. You like to make stop play motion videos as well, don't you?
Well, I used to, but I'm more into drawing now.
So, I mean, we were a table full of creatives, yeah? And
Absolutely.
It's amazing when you're drawing, Timmy, and like 3 hours can be like 5 minutes, you know? It just goes away really quickly, doesn't it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a couple of questions, haven't you? Do you want to start your first question?
Yes. In the future, what do you hope to achieve?
For the company, yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'd like us to be. We're a very. I know a lot of companies do say this, but we are genuinely like a group of people who you can come up with anything one day, and you can add to it to the brand. You can add to it from the company point of view. Everybody's got a voice, and it's really important that everybody does have a voice. So ultimately, what do we want to achieve? We want to achieve something which means we grow that team. We grow with more creative people, albeit sometimes with creative people you do still need a bit of a structure that sits behind the scenes. Otherwise, everybody's got all great ideas and there's lots of flowery things happening and nothing actually gets done.
Yeah,
so we do need that, and that's my wife provides that bit. But ultimately, I want to get the business, or want to get this brand to a point.
Who goes on a tangent the most with ideas?
I think it's the both of us.
I'd say I think I probably invented the word tangent.
When we sit down, one of the most said things is, "Let's stop going off on tangents now."
Yeah.
Let's stop it. But
Who started that?
What do we want to achieve with the brand? What would be great is I'd like to see probably somebody like Prince William sitting there eating a pack of Shropshire Scratching Company scratchings.
That's a good idea. Getting a big name or a big brand person, somebody that can bring it in. I mean, you could think off the top of your head. I think Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah,
he'd be a good one, wouldn't he?
He would. Yeah.
Wow. Bear Grylls, that kind of survivor snack. Like I'm thinking, like you can really go on that. Yeah, that's really good. Well, what we need to do is we kind of jumped the gun a bit with that question. I probably should have check those questions before. I was like, go ahead with your question. Well, what about you, youngster? I mean, with this company, what do you think about this? Where do you want to go with it?
With this, I think I want to see it down the line. I want to see us with more of a range of products. So we've had conversations about including different things like sort of charcuterie or jams and things, haven't we?
Yep.
Chocolate I saw recently, right?
Oh,
the chocolate scratchings, yeah.
Chocolate scratchings.
That was an interesting one, wasn't it? We were divided on them, weren't we?
Completely split.
Were you just trolling people, or did you actually make them?
No, yeah, we did. We actually did do them. Yeah, we did do them.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
he loved them over there.
Personally loved them. I'm an absolute firm no. Tom's a firm no. Leanne is 100% firm yes. So
just imagine chocolate pretzels.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I've had chocolate popcorn before, which is kind of like the savoury style popcorn with chocolate on it. This kind of has that thing. But people are adding salt to all kinds of crazy stuff now, aren't they? So, I mean, like, it kind of works. We've got to talk about the product, though. How long did it take to get a product like a premium scratching correct?
Well, okay, I can answer this really quickly, actually, without going off on a tangent. My grandmother was the queen of anything to do with pigs.
She was.
So she would literally eat nose to tail every part of a pig, and I spent so much time with my grandmother growing up. She also taught me how to cook. She also taught me how to be completely independent, but also the best thing was she taught me how to eat a pig from nose to tail. So literally everything from the pig's head right the way through to the pig's tail.
Wow.
The feet, the lot, everything. So scratchings You can do crackling, but crackling's not like a scratching. So she taught me how to do a scratching. This was years ago, and I've been making these scratchings at home. So we do this scratching at home. It's great. The full length of time to say, right, okay, we're going to do a scratchings brand was probably until actual product was in a packet. We're probably talking about 7 months, and that's absolute relentless work, 12 to 14 hours a day.
But even that's quite a short time span, I think, because these things can take a long time to get it right.
Well, as you can probably tell from my accent, I've got a lot of Black Country heritage in me. Tom not so much, but me, yes. In the Black Country, it's a staple food. So it's every day. It's everywhere. It's at work. Literally pubs everywhere you want to think.
What were the brand that came in the clear bag with the red light writing on it? We used to get them from the pubs because we used to go to garages and pubs just to get them. You couldn't get them in the shops, but they were in a clear bag with red writing on it, and we'd only go to the pubs to get them. I can't remember the brand name now.
Which one?
KVA.
KVA.
I'm gonna have to Google this because
KVA. They also they sell them different now. They're in you get the blue and white packets.
Yeah.
But those scratchings actually, they're different. So they're actually, believe it or not, a byproduct of lard.
Oh really?
So that scratching is called the leaf scratching. So it's basically it's actually quite difficult to explain. But you get how you would normally make a scratching is you obviously take the skin. This here is pork product put together and then pressed, and then more product put on top, pressed, more on top, pressed.
Okay.
What comes out is lard. What's left is this leaf scratching. So that there, you then cut that up, and it'll come in pieces this big, and it can be this thick. It can be that thick. That's a leaf scratching, but they don't make those anymore, and they're really because they're so expensive. Where they are actually really popular is Portugal.
Oh, okay.
So when you go to Portugal, you can buy leaf scratchings. They're all over the place. You can't buy scratchings that we would get here, but in Portugal, leaf scratchings are everywhere.
Do you know what? That's mad. I didn't even think about like scratchings anywhere else but the UK. I mean, that's probably really ignorant of me, but I always thought it was a proper like UK snack. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I guess you get that everywhere.
It's big in Mexico as well, isn't it?
Mexico, Spain, Portugal. There's actually quite a few countries. Vietnam, where they'll eat anywhere where there's a high concentration of pigs. I don't think Denmark has a big concentration of pigs. Obviously Danish bacon.
Yeah.
But the scratching thing is it's quite unique, especially now, and obviously we've introduced the flavours to that as well.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where I was going to come into with. I was always hit and miss with scratchings because you get the cheap ones that are just like glass in your mouth, the really sharp bits. You get some that just won't break, and you kind of like, oh my god, I've probably just chipped a tooth. You get some that don't taste great, some that maybe smell or taste a bit too porky, so maybe there's flavourings put in there. And when I first tried yours, I was kind of like, oh, okay, here we go. But I was like, oh my god, these are peng, these are like fire. So. You got it right. Absolutely. You know.
Yeah, there's a bit of a secret how they actually manufactured, if you like. It's everything we do is exactly to the way that we would have sort of made it years ago, or as in how I was taught to do that. And that's a 2-stage cooking process, and then the way that the flavouring is then put on afterwards. So we're also very particular about the flavour type because it's got to go well. You'd think, I tried once, somebody showed me some pork scratchings that were apple flavoured, and you'd think pork, apple, perfect, go together. Honestly, they were the most awful things ever. I bought some for a bit. I was like, look, if anybody ever says we're going to do a pork and apple flavoured scratching, this will tell you that
it was more schnapple than applesauce.
It really wasn't good. It was not good. No, but yeah,
shook a bag of scratchings of apple tango.
But you're so right on the actual the hardness, because it's really easy to make a scratching. Actually, quite cheap, and if you do it in a way that means that basically you're just cooking it at really high temperature really quickly, it just doesn't. It doesn't actually. It doesn't work in respect of being accessible to lots of people who would normally want to eat it, they've become so hard. The amount of people who've just said, look, I'd stop buying them, because generally now you buy a pack of scratchings and it's just rock hard.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Well, we get a lot of people on the market going, I don't know, because I've had to go to the dentist because I've lost a couple of teeth and that, and we're like, because of the way we cook them, honestly, it's it's not the same. They're still crunchy and they're still crispy, but they're not like biting a piece of wood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Getting a bit of feedback off one of the microphones.
Is it me?
I think it is, but I think it's the microphone. Sorry, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my audio. So what I'll do is I'll just bring the gain down, bring you up. Give us some audio again, Brett.
How's that?
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
A bit better. I think because this is an old mic cable, what it does, it tends to fizzle. It sounds like bacon cooking on a pan.
You're talking our language.
You like your bacon, don't you, Timmy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine scratching's very similar to bacon. Probably he's very fussy with food, but I'm going to get him to try a scratching today. I imagine it's just like bacon. Imagine it just like bacon.
But yeah, just
Imagine
really,
bacon, but better.
But better.
and really crispy.
Really crispy.
And not too hard.
And not too...
And flavoured.
How many companies did you go to before you found the right company for you? Because these are made in Stafford, right? And then you bring them over to Telford, where they're made into...
Do you know what? Actually, it's really difficult, because when you're actually trying to create something that is really bespoke, it's actually really hard to find somebody who doesn't try to get you to do everything the way they want to do it. So literally everything we do is created around us, and it's created from our thought, from our idea, from our plan. Everything from the branding right the way through to the flavouring right at the end. And it's actually took a long time to do that. That was probably the most difficult thing. I mean, we could produce a limited amount with what we've got and our own equipment, but once things really start to pick up, it's impossible to be able to do that on a small batch scale. Well, we still do it on a small batch, but it's impossible to do it on a scale where you could be able to supply 30, 40 pubs in Shrewsbury and also the businesses around it.
And these are decisions that all you guys have to make together, right? Because that's what you were saying. Oh, that fizzing sound was the rain. It's absolutely pouring down. That's what it was. There's cars going past. Yeah. I thought the microphones are playing up, and really it's a monsoon outside, and it's great. And that's really good to see that you guys got this all in together thing, because I think that's where the most successful businesses work. I mean, have you had inspiration about other companies that you've seen that work in this process? Have you seen failures and successes of businesses where you've taken a little bit of this and a little bit of that? Maybe.
I think personally, I've always worked with premium products, and I've never worked at the budget end of the market or even mid-tier pricing. So I've always worked in premium sectors with what I've been doing, and actually from a snack point of view, I'd say yes, there are a few crisp manufacturers out there. There are a few other snacks, nuts, this type of thing, where you could say actually yes, they've got a premium aspect to them. But for pork scratchings, it just didn't exist, and that's right the way down to the thickness of the bag, and what we do with the actual packet as well. So pork products in general, or any meat product that's got any sort of fat with it, you have to protect the flavour. The only way you can protect the flavour is to make sure that it's in a foil-backed pack, and the foil-backed pack is also really quite thick, because without that, the minute the sunlight hits it, just sunlight will change the flavour. That's why when you eat them in a pub and then they don't taste right, it's because the sunlight has got to the packet, and that's what changes the flavour.
Wow, there's some real science and some real thought and consideration gone into this.
It really does make a big difference. If you open a pack of our scratchings and you open a bag of scratchings that's in a clear bag, you'll tell straight away.
Yeah.
Wow.
But also as well, because it's a meat product. So what do you do with meat when you want to cook meat and you want to change the taste of it? You add seasoning, or you want to put a rub on it. You want to barbecue it. You want to smoke it. The reason you can do that is because it's essentially, for want of a better phrase, it's a porous product. So it's going to take on the flavour of something. So if you put it in a plastic packet, it will take on the flavour of the plastic into the meat. Ours are foil backed, so there is no flavour there. There is no smell. It's literally
pure product.
Yeah. So that's why when you open it, you get the smell of the product and you get the taste of the product as it should be. And actually, that from a commercial point of view, it actually has a big effect on how we can sell the product, because we've literally taken a delivery this morning, and we're nearing up to January. So our best before date is January, whereas most of the people's, probably, to be honest, 6 weeks at best. But a week in, if there's any sunlight hitting that packet with a clear packet, it'll change the taste.
It's that old adage, isn't it? It's like the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. You know, genuinely like, and I think like that's a great philosophy for most things in life. Being a method actor, or what's kind of like, when we were at the prison, I used to do acting there, and it was a completely immersive experience for all the people that come to the prison break. And you get some people that are like dragging their feet, like, listen, buddy, if you get stuck into this and create a character for yourself and really let go and really just put as much effort into having fun as you can, you're going to really enjoy the experience more than dragging your feet. And I feel like that's the same for running a business, running a podcast, going to school. You know, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Absolutely.
Do you know what, honestly, I think, and I would say this to anybody who wants to start a business, create a brand, create a team, whatever you want to do. This also just back to the conversation we were having in the car. Just for that first 6 months of either a new company, new brand, or anything where you want to get something else out of it at the end, you've got to be relentless for 6 months. For that 6 months, you've got to be completely unreasonable with everything that you do in life, whether that's friends, family. I'm always the person who will literally cancel at the last minute because I've got to make sure this is done, that's done. And it's not about being a perfectionist. It's about you've got to go that extra mile to make it happen.
Got to get it right, haven't you?
Yeah. You want,
we're in that period now as well, and we're in that period now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's showing through.
Yeah.
I mean, literally yesterday. Between yesterday and today, I think we've probably done maybe 5 or 6 different inquiries for trade
accounts.
That people can see the value of it. And that's because obviously, we've pushed it, but so many people are talking about the flavour of it, the way it tastes.
Yeah. Because you've gone for some, I mean, the maple kind of makes sense, but the sweet chili, you've gone for like flavour. I've never seen flavoured scratchings before. I mean, I've never seen like sweet chili or the sweet maple. I've never seen that before.
Well, that was the big thing. So for me, all of us really, but I really pushed getting the flavours really right. So the first one to talk about would be the salt and cider vinegar, because going back to being a bit of a chef nerd, if vinegar, because it's an acid, cuts through fat, and a lot of people will say pork scratchings are quite a rich food because there's a lot of fat in them. Well, they are pretty much just all fat in there, but the vinegar cuts through it. It makes it feel a lot lighter, and they mix very well. And then with the Thai sweet chili, it's, if you had the Thai sweet chili.
Yeah, they're my favourite. I've tried them all. I love them ones.
They're not a hot chili, are they? They're just, you get the aromatics of it, so you get your onion and your ginger.
I was watching the football though, and I was doing that bit where you get the last bit to the bottom of the bag, right? But like Shrewsbury just missed as I was doing it, so I went so I inhaled this sweet chili to the back of my throat, and I'm going purple coughing, and my wife's taking a sip out of her Coke, and I'm going waving over desperately for this Coke. Remember that? And I was trying not to die because I just inhaled this sweet chili. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, but getting the flavour, I think that was one of the big things. Like the recipe for the scratchings, where we produce them, and all of that was obviously the first hurdle we had to overcome, what we wanted to do with it. But then second to that, and I think what took a lot of the time out, was getting the flavours correct. Because there are some flavoured scratchings on the market, aren't there? There are some.
Yeah, but they're not. I think I think people have just gone for like a mass market flavour. And the way we wanted to put it together was we wanted it to. We didn't want something to completely overpower the flavour of essentially a salted scratching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It should complement.
And you've got that right, I think. I mean,
yeah,
fine balance in it.
Yeah.
Were you dead set on this was going to be a success from the beginning, or did you think, this might work, might not, or did you?
No, I think when you do anything, you've got to believe in it. If you if you don't believe in it, the truth is it probably ain't going to work. And for me, I genuinely believed in it. That the story started where, and this was the very first sort of inception of this, it was actually my birthday last year, and my sister-in-law bought me some scratchings, and some of them had a flavour on them, but honestly, they were just awful, and I didn't want to say they were awful. I've always loved pork scratchings. These things were just not good, and I just kept thinking about it, and I thought, actually, there's not a good product on the market that I can see. It's not protected properly. It doesn't taste great. And then literally we were here, and I just said, you know what? And I said it at the back. We were in the beer garden at the back. There was probably about 12 of us. I asked for some scratchings at the bar, took them up, and someone moaned that they were rock hard. And I said, you know what? I said, lads, I want to do a pork scratchings brand. We're going to do it. I said, Tom, do you want to do it? He said, yeah, I'll do it, Dad. Yeah, I'll do it. Mine and Percy's mutual friend, he got a million different names that he wanted to call. He thought it should be called. And then from that point,
What were some of the names? Come on, call them out.
I think hog lumps.
Pigskins, yeah, that was
Pigskins.
But I just said, you know, I moved to. I've been coming to Shrewsbury in particular for ever since I was about 18. A friend of mine used to run it used to be called Bar 7, which is now Hickory's.
Right, yeah.
And so I've been coming here a long time. I moved here 10 years ago because I constantly kept coming back. Two of my really close friends are from Shrewsbury, just outside the town centre. So eventually I moved over here, but I wanted it to be about where we are now. And that's, you know, we work here, we live here. Obviously Tom's been here, you know, as well forever and gone to school here, but I wanted it to be something that was from
The Shire.
Yeah, I did. And I think for me, I wouldn't, you know, I say it all the time, you'd literally have to drag me away from Shrewsbury. I love it over here. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
We fell hard in love with the town. We moved here because we thought, you know, I always say this, not to be a snob, but we thought the schools would be better here than in Telford. I just thought that, you know, and I think we were right, made the right choice. We had family here, and I remember the first time we moved to we were in Bellevue to start off with, and I remember it was like, it snowed and I went over Greyfriars Bridge, and it looked like I was in a Dickens tale. Do you know what I mean? I was in a book, like I was just like, wow, this is incredible. So it really helps to be proud of where you live. And I was going to ask you, Percy, obviously, like when you come into this, do you see this as a success? Do you listen to what Brett's saying and go, oh my God, or did it take some convincing?
I completely fell in love with the whole thing the second I saw it.
Yeah?
I mean, I sat down and went, my name's Percy, and I look like this. You'll know, people who know. You know what I mean?
He's just answered his phone and gone, hi, Percy, the scratchings guy. And I was like, that is it.
That's right, I would like to be the scratching man, you know, to introduce yourself in the pubs and whatnot. But the second I saw the product and I met these guys, I knew straight away. It weren't even a thing. It was straight in.
I just can't get over like the image of you guys at the food festival. The swagger you got, rightly so, by the way, the swagger and the pride that you guys had. Because you could tell you put all this work into it, getting the product right, making sure they're manufactured right, getting the logos correct, making sure the packaging is correct, even the aprons and everything was just seemed on point, and you could tell that you guys were pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I mean that's what we tried to do. You know, it matches everything. It follows the whole brand. We wanted to create that, and I think it was quite obvious at the food festival. That's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And people obviously enjoyed it. They were 4 deep.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was the craziest 2 hours of my life on that Saturday.
Big shout out to Beth for making that happen, because that's what she does. She's a wizard. I was going to call her a witch, but that's the negative connotations of witches. She's not a witch, but she's a wizard. She does these amazing magical things, and she helps companies like you guys thrive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that, you know, there's a massive shout to people who organise events of that nature, because I think without that, it's actually really difficult for small businesses. And there's also some micro businesses out there that are people's second incomes. They may be part of a hobby that's turned into a small business, and that type of outlet is perfect for them to showcase what they do and then grow.
we've been to the food festival every year, haven't we, Timmy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen businesses that are there every single year. We've seen businesses like Luke Crump, an artist, and he sits there and he makes art for people, but he'll do like a live draw along. He's grown and grown and grown every time we go and see him, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. What are your favourite businesses that you've seen at the food festival?
Well,
Shropshire Scratching Company.
The Shropshire Scratching Company.
Yeah. Well, this year there was 3D Lego.
The 3D Lego. He's obsessed with Lego. There's a lady selling Lego, so he's not. Good shout out though. Very, very creative. What happens after the food festival and for you guys? Because obviously you created all this momentum. What did you do with that?
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
These guys all gone. You go. I mean,
we had a lot of inquiries, basically.
did it? Did the phone start ringing?
Yeah. Mad, yeah.
Never stop.
We had a solid 2 weeks where we was out on the road, constantly seeing people. Do you want the product? Yes, we'll have it. Yeah, get it involved, get it out there.
Yeah.
And it was really good. We could tell that the people of Shrewsbury taking it to heart.
Was that just Shrewsbury, or was it like across the Shire? Like, was there like?
There was some further apart. Yeah. There was some further out.
There was some towards Bridge North. Some toward basically all of the surrounding area of Shrewsbury and the major town, so Whitchurch, Wem. These were all inquiries that came in. We've had everything from delicatessens to breweries.
The prison,
Shrewsbury Prison.
Shout out to Shrewsbury Prison.
Yeah. It's literally been honestly, from me, there's a point where I just sat back and thought, wow, this is...
Were you prepared for that kind of mass inquiry? Were you like shocked by it? Because I mean, sometimes it can be quite daunting, can't it? When it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? There's not enough product to sell. How are we going to get it all in quickly? We've got to make 1,000 orders. Oh my God. Were you ready?
Yeah. We were. And I think, just going back to what I was saying before, if you now believe in something, really, truly believe in it, there's going to be holes, and there's a difference between having holes because you don't believe in it to having operational issues because something's growing. So the two things are very different, and the operational issues for us are literally just making sure that whatever we do as a company now, we've got to maintain that level of service, of whether that's delivery, whether that's interaction, whatever that is for each individual company that we deal with. We've got to make sure that service remains at the level it should do when we've got 3 customers or whether we've got 300.
We're quite confident we'll do that as well.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how it works.
I think one of the big things for us and like getting ourselves out there was doing the markets. So we've had, I think, majority of the trade inquiries we've had have been because we did the Shrewsbury Farmers Market down the square.
Sure.
I think a lot of the trade inquiries we've had have been because of that.
Yeah.
We've had, like, one of our bigger customers, the Boathouse, came up to us from there. They approached us from there. I think the Admiral Benbow did as well, didn't they?
Admiral Benbow, okay.
And a few more pubs in the area. The Allotment did, didn't they?
The Allotment
down on Coleham.
Yeah.
Big shout out to them guys. We got House Coffee is one of my favourite places to sit. That and the Shrewsbury Coffee House. There's a few, but I'm sort of labelling coffee shops in Shrewsbury. Be here all day, won't I? Timmy, you've got a question, haven't you? That one there, the second one.
Do you think you'll go far with your business?
I believe so. I think it's set up, ready to go. I really do. The passion that we've got, the belief that we've got, and in each other, I think it shows that we've really got the foundation to really push on here. And again, the people have took it in. People like the product. Local people have taken it as their own. I think it belongs to Shropshire, so it should. We want people to feel that way. I think the more that happens, the bigger it will go. So yes is the answer.
Yeah, I think we've got a good foundation anyway. So going back to what my dad said about if you don't fully believe in it, it's not going to happen really. I think because we're all so invested in it and we've all been there from the start and all, everything we've done has been in-house really. Like I said, I fully believe in it. I think we all do at the company. So I don't see any reason for us to not go further with it.
I think so. With what I'm seeing from you guys, I feel like the sky's the limit with you guys. I really do. It reminds me of when we first started USOC. For like about a month, everyone was talking about what we were doing, and it was very, very exciting. I was interviewing like Brian Graydon, the co-creator of South Park, you know, ran MTV for 13 years. There's people at Spotify high up knew who I was because during the pandemic I was one of the only people in Shropshire doing media. Like, it was just in that exciting thing, and it's like, I made that, I created the logo that everyone's looking at, and all those kind of things. You guys must be very proud, like sitting at home going, wow, this is what we've done. And you're okay to feel that way, honestly.
I've genuinely got the best job in the world.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That is how I feel.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's more the proud thing for me is yes, there is that, but that's always secondary to seeing what Percy's done out and about with the customers, seeing what Tom's done from the sort of back office point of view, what Leanne will also do to help support the operational part of the business.
Yeah.
That to me is that's where I get my satisfaction from, to stand back and look at it and say, actually, this didn't exist in anybody's eyes other than us until the 17th of May this year.
Yeah.
So it didn't. Nobody'd seen it, just us. There was a few of my close friends that I say a few. There was probably a group of about 20 people who we kept testing product on, and that was everything from the packet to the taste to the different flavours, how this would look, how that would look. We've done a lot of what we would call A/B testing. So you look at, this is option A, this is option B, and then switch that round to a different...
like a blind packet test, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But I can honestly say, without doubt, hands on the table, hands on heart, whatever you want to do.
Hands on the table.
Literally everything, you know, genuinely, even though every time I kept switching things round, every person always picked our product, every single time. Like, they never, ever faltered it. They always picked our product. And that to me was just great.
Do you know what I'm thinking of? Because of the friends I've got in the States that we worked with you years ago, like that. I feel I'd love to get some of your products to my friends in California and to Tom in Vermont. I feel like just to get their reactions of them testing your product, that'd be amazing. So if we could have a whip around maybe in a few weeks and get some sent out, that'd be amazing. I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
because
do you know what, actually? I mean, Tom and Percy will be able to explain this better than me, but it's been the topic of conversation quite a few times about America, because obviously the town here is very... Well, there's plenty of people from lots of places all over the world who, whether they've had ancestors from Shrewsbury or come back here, there's a lot of tourism, and we've had a lot of American people come to the stall.
Yeah,
now they taste it, and some people have bought like 10 packets to put in the case to take home.
Yeah, we've had that.
Honestly,
there's a couple. I can't remember their name, and if they hear this, they're going to hate me for it.
Oh, that's awful, Tom. I feel like just unplugging this machine. Right? How could you forget that?
Every single thing we've done, they've been there, haven't they?
They must be our biggest fans. Yeah,
honestly, love them to bits. They're amazing. They come to everything.
And yet you forgot their name. Oh my god! No, I'm joking. That's amazing. I wonder if they do have like pork scratchings in America. If they
do. They do
something different.
It's more like
they call it pork
rind.
Yeah, but it's a bit like pork crunch.
Yeah, it's not.
You mean like jerky? No, it's not like jerky. It's really good that you. Is there anything about this like kind of like, I don't know? Scare the right word? Is there anything that scares you about this, that you worry about, that you think, oh my god, what if it gets from underneath us? Is there anything?
No, I think it's probably a bit of a cliche, but I know both Percy and Tom will definitely back what I'm saying. I don't go into anything with a plan B.
No.
Oh right, we were just talking about. I was teaching him what a contingency plan was in the car.
I don't do contingency plans.
No.
I just say, look, that's what we're doing. That's the budget. That's where we're moving. That's how we're going to do it. That's it. Definitely, as you know, as that journey moves along, we'll definitely flex that journey, and we'll move in a couple of different directions, because maybe we've picked something up that we didn't think about. So probably one of our biggest sets of customers, which although we'd thought about, we thought maybe some attractions. So the prison.
Prison was big.
There's a couple of other.
The Sabrina might be a good one.
We have spoke about that.
Yeah, that's on the list there to sort of to speak to them, because I think it's perfect for what it is, and for them obviously they've got a captive audience. You're not going to pop out.
Yeah, Assington Park maybe have a pack of scratchings on the way around the park.
Yeah, and the National Trust actually they have a thing where they like to do local
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
with local businesses, which is actually quite important. But yeah, I don't really subscribe to a plan B.
Well, do you remember what we talked about in the car? What was a contingency plan? Do you remember this? See if you remembers.
A plan B?
It is, yeah. Because I was like, if there's no, because where we used to live in Bellevue, there's some free parking, and I was like, if there's no parking there, we'll go to Greyfriars. That's my contingency. Okay. So you do listen to me then?
But do you listen to me?
Hardly ever, because you're usually talking about skibbity toilets, YouTube people, or ASMR stuff. He's got, I don't know, listeners, if you've got this, I don't like the sound of people chewing, or that kind of like. Shane, right? Big shout out to Shane Hinton, my old co-host. He used to do that. He used to down the mic and he's like, stop it. But he listens to ASMR on YouTube, and it's people like scratching down the microphone and tapping the nails on. Yeah, so Percy's like he's imploding right now. Yeah.
I've got a whole playlist.
He has got a whole playlist. He's obsessed with it. So he walked in last night, and I was like, get it out, get it out of it. So I mean, this is a very exciting thing to see, because it is very grassroots, isn't it? How big are you prepared to go with this? I mean, could you franchise this? Could you I don't know, how big can it go?
I think, honestly, it's easy to look at something from a business perspective and say, right, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to launch this here, and what we want to do is we want to go out and we want to make all the money in the world and blah, 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 blah. That's how a lot of people look at business, and I think it's actually, people are looking at it in the wrong order. To get to that point, you've got to get something that actually, A, is going to be commercially viable to actually put out into the market.
Sure.
B, people actually want. So even if it is commercially viable, if nobody wants it, it's pointless.
Yeah.
And C, when you do create that and you do actually push that out to people to say, look, this is what we want, and they say, actually, yeah, I quite like that, you've got to build a proper consistency with your customer base. So how big do we want it to be? I personally, I don't want it to get to a point where the control of the product, the flavour, the branding ends up being created by somebody who's got no real love for the product.
Yeah, have you seen The Founder? The movie,
yes,
The Founder.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
That's a perfect analogy for what you're talking about right now. Because Michael Keaton's the guy that comes in. I've forgotten his name now. The character, the guy he plays, comes into the McDonald's brothers and he starts changing the recipes. He's like, "I'm going to do a powder milkshake." You don't want that to happen. Anybody to walk in and be like, "These are our ideas now."
Yeah,
I would really struggle with that thing.
Yeah, I think I think it's easy. I mean, effectively, what you're doing is you're selling your soul. And I'll never do that. I'll never do that. I'll always be true to what it is. If it comes to a point where in any business that you're involved in, it's just like, to be honest, it's no different to having a job. It's no different to running a pub. Whatever that is. My rule is, if I wake up 5 days in a row and I don't want to do whatever that is, I've got to change it. And for me, I love what we do. I love how we've done this. I love the product. I love every essence of what it is that we're doing. If you get to a point where you're not loving it and it's not actually what you want to do, then to me you've sort of lost control of it. It's not the same. No. It's just not. It wouldn't feel the same, and I don't think that would be projected onto the customer base that support us in what we do either.
Because they've liked you from what you were anyway at the beginning. Yeah,
I think they'd know, I think.
Yeah.
They'd feel. I don't.
You can feel the love now, can't you? That's the point. The love that we put in.
Yeah. I think if I looked at you could walk into somewhere like Booker's now and buy something, whether it's a boiled sweet or whether it's a bag of crisps. Most of that stuff is a little bit well, not a little bit. It's faceless. Yeah. It's a brand and it's a box and it's a product inside it, and you just buy it, and basically it's a transactional relationship.
But that's why I love The Bear as well. But go back to that TV show, because when you come to the food of that, they're like really looking at the ingredients. They're really taking the care of the things that they make. Like Marcus, the dessert chef in that show.
Yeah.
He's got so much love in what he makes and stuff. And I feel like that's where, when it comes to things like a premium product, like what you've made, you've taken the time to make sure you've got the right product, the create source product, the create flavorings, and the create comings together of these things.
and we still literally even every time everything's packaged up.
Yep.
We've done it this morning.
Yeah, we had a delivery
We
coming
still
today.
we randomly test, take it out to make sure everything's correct, and then obviously then we're happy with it. That's great, and that quality control when you're doing something like that. I working in the automotive industry, I always liken things to if I was working for Bentley or Rolls Royce, they wouldn't allow a product to go out that was okay.
No.
They wouldn't want a product to go out. They just wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't, even a component that wasn't exactly how they wanted it to be, they wouldn't let it go. And we're the same.
What motivates your work?
It's a great question, that is.
great question.
Yes, well done.
That is a really good one. That's
Philosophical answer.
It's probably the best question of the whole show, Tim. Here you go. You get one of them, all right? We'll start with you, Percy, I guess. Yeah. Everybody's looking at you.
What motivates me?
Yeah.
What we're saying. I think the easy answer is always family, but success. And I knew that I was going to be successful the second I met these guys, and that's what drives me. I wake up every morning, I still can't believe I'm doing what I'm doing. I get to work with these guys, and it really is the pinnacle of what is my working career.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
No, we just like to.
just like pork scratchings.
We just like pork scratchings, and we all
like pork scratchings. Tom, what motivates you?
For me, I think it's having something on the market that I can say that's ours, that isn't. It not be a product that I can pick up and put down and forget about. It's having a memorable product that we as a team have designed, we as a team have tested, we have a team have created. And that's on the market in pubs that I go to myself, in butchers that we as a family go to, things like that. I can walk in there and go, we've done that. That really motivates me.
Do you find yourself leaning against shelves sometimes, like, oh, you like them, do you? Guess who made them? Me. I can see you doing that, Tom.
All the time, every time.
And Brett?
I think for me, honestly, it's a really easy answer, and this applies to everything in life for me. I grew up in an area which is probably not the best, and I always promised myself that that's not something that I would continue when I'd got the control to be able to do that. And honestly, if I had to work 18 hours a day for the next 7 days to just make sure that was never going to happen, then that's what I'd do. There's too much of an inbuilt driver to me with that.
I think I remember having this discussion with my son. I won't mention which son it was, my older son. And he was like, I don't want to work for another boss. I want to be my own boss. And I was like, well, unfortunately, you've got to kind of go for that process. If you want to be a manager or something, you don't just start off as a manager. You've got to learn to take orders before you can give them, And I think, again, we're talking about the analogies of knife. Like, that is how it is. You go through, industry where you're working for this place, until you get to a point where you can, like what you guys have done, create your own product, become your own leader, become your own boss, and drive your own narrative. I think that's everyone's dream, isn't it? But you've got to go for that journey to get there, haven't you?
Yeah, I think there's nothing really that can prepare you as a person for starting your own business, and I think you never appreciate a job more. You never appreciate a job more than when you're actually working for yourself, and you've got to make sure you're keeping the HMRC man happy, and you're keeping everybody staff-wise happy, and that's a massive thing, that is.
And then finding that fine balance of keeping the family fed as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's that, but also there's a lot of there's me. From a family point of view, there's me. There's Tom. There's my father, my wife, my sister. There's a big big group of people with one surname all working in one business. And then obviously,
then we got Percy.
And Percy, who's our adopted family member.
We've got Dan. I can't forget about Dan.
And,
We've got Dan as well.
obviously Dan, yeah.
Right, Dan has been taking pictures of us. If you got some good pictures of us, Dan, you know, me and my 4 chins, just get at least 2 of them in for that. Thanks.
But yeah, it's difficult, you know. It's difficult trying to get the right balance.
I think we can't do this interview without talking about the flavours and how they're going to evolve. Have you got plans for more flavours? Have you had any suggestions as soon as you guys have exploded? And how wacky are they going to get?
I've got my own view, and I'll keep it really short and sweet. I'd probably like to expand it by probably a max of probably about another 2 to 3 flavours. The one which I'll say now and then both of these beautiful gentlemen here can then extrapolate on, is the one thing that we always get asked for is some sort of red hot chili flavour.
Yeah.
Pepper.
I mean, we.
I had to say.
It was
really good.
We have tried it with one, and it was a ghost chili. Tom's comment was,
It's not for humans. It's not.
it was
for
that
humans.
hot. But
I'm good with spice. I'm not. You know, I'm all right with spice. But I ate one of them and I was half an hour. I was
we
struggling.
constructed that, and it was definitely.
I'd like to try this not for human scratching one time. I mean, Percy's shaking his head.
It's a bit like the 1 chip challenge. That's what
Really?
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it was that
It's that
hot,
equivalent of that, yeah.
Oh, okay. He's,
But we
he's pointing at me because I'm friends with the guy who created the ghost chili pepper. He creates a sauce for hot ones.
All right.
And he sent us out some of the hottest sauces on the planet to do a hot wing quiz. And it was it was insane. Big shout out to those guys. I don't mind hot food, but people like that challenge, don't they? You got that upside down, kiddo. You're going to hurt your ear like that. So a very hot one.
Yeah, probably that would be somewhere that we would definitely explore as a flavour, and then the other couple I know we've got ideas, but I'll leave it to these two.
Do you want to take this one first?
I'm a big fan of the Worcester sauce.
Ooh,
I think that works quite well.
Yeah. We when we were at the food festival, there was a couple that came over, and they were really interested in everything, like the flavours and all that. And just before they were leaving, the guy said to us, he went, "Have you ever tried them with Worcester sauce?" I was like, I've never had scratchings with Worcester sauce. That's not like a not like easily accessible thing to have with you at the pub. But he goes, honestly, open bag of scratchings, put a couple of drops of Worcester sauce in, shake it about, and eat them. So we did that, and then
the man was a genius.
he was a genius. We did that, and then we trialled the flavour. We trialled the flavour, brought it back to the office, and out of the couple that we trialled, there was none left.
We hammered them, yeah.
There was none left.
wow! So that's almost a winner. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I think that'll definitely be the
couple,
the final few. Yeah.
There's going back to the chocolate thing. During the pandemic, we did a cook along with Adam Pennell, the Shropshire lad. Big shout out to Embers Cafe.
Yeah. Big fans.
Yeah,
we love Adam. Adam loves
he was doing these like Instagram reel cook along things, and we decided, me and Tom Bruno in Vermont, we were both watching him, we were both cooking him at the same time and recording content before You Suck, the old network, and he made these strawberry chicken wings, spicy strawberry chicken wings, and they were just sublime. I messed it all up because I didn't realise that Adam had a dry hand and a wet hand when he put bread in the chicken, so it just became this massive dough. And I was just like, oh, what's going on here? Like, they were all right. Tom's were better than mine. Sweet with savoury, raspberry or strawberry, mixing them in with the scratchings, maybe. I don't know.
Because we couldn't. I don't know if we'd be able to do something like that, just because when you're doing something with a meat product like that, so like your strawberry wings, and then you get your pork and apple. But like we spoke about earlier, because you can't use like a fresh fruit or a fresh vegetable with it.
You've got to use those.
You've got to use the sort of, and it's hard to find one that's not tasting artificial.
You guys have put so much thought into this. Honestly.
No, it's so true, honestly. They literally days and days and days of trying this, then trying it with a drink, trying it without a drink, honestly, that just even that that changes the taste of things. So we
Did you get fed up with scratchings? I know, you know.
No.
Have you got any more?
I actually said this morning as we sort of walked into where we store everything, and I said, "Oh, nothing beats the smell of pork scratchings in the lane, does it? Come on, lads."
Smell it, can't you?
You really can't smell it.
All right, Marlon Brando. I love that. Have you guys, social media wise, has there been lots of people getting in touch with like suggestions or compliments, complaints? Maybe. I mean, how's that been going for you?
No, literally all good. I think we did. I'm trying to think when we started the social media journey off, and I mean, to be fair, it's a minefield. We've got a retail product that's out there. You really do. You hold your heart in your hands whenever you're entering that retail space, because you never know what somebody's reaction is going to be at the end or even at the start of trying your product. But as of now, it's gone well. I think from my own opinion, I'm pretty confident. I don't think we've had really any issue with anything.
That's good.
I think one of the important things that really like sets us aside is the fact we've got a face. So with the social media, we post videos of the videos have been posting of me sort of talking about different things to do with Shrewsbury, and moving away from the social media, even like when we're doing the markets, and it's more of a personal thing. Yeah. So people can come up to us, talk to us, buy a bag off us, rather than just searching up the website and buying them online. I think it really helps to create the sort of the locality that we want to create. Do you know what I mean? And I think without that, I think we'd struggle.
We actually do get a lot of. We always get quite a big flurry on our website.
Yeah.
Whenever we do any sort of event, so that there's a lot of people.
Those events do work. I mean,
they do. I think for your branding, it's really important that you can. A lot of people think that you can put a website out there. You can have the most fantastic product in the world. You can have the cheapest delivery with the cheapest price, but if people don't know about it, then no one's going to buy it. No one's going to experience what it is that you've created. So that's where the hard work comes in then, because it's not about sitting on your sofa watching EastEnders and letting the till ring on your website. You've got to be out there living it and understanding what it is that people want. So I mean,
and I think that's ultimately what drew me to you. And I'm not saying like you guys coming on the podcast means you've hit a level of success, or I'm gonna my 12 listeners are gonna like, but like it draws people to you en masse, like, and that's what creates a successful brand. I think you're right.
You've got to be willing to just do what other people are not doing. You've got to constantly be pushing, and you've got to have the support services that means that what it is that you're promising can actually be delivered. Because if you're telling everybody in the world you've got this product, it's great, it tastes fantastic, would you like to buy it? And then they buy it once, and then you've not got stock to back that up, or you haven't got an infrastructure that means that you can physically do that through somebody delivering the product to them, ordering the product. I think that's probably where a lot of businesses find it difficult, because you can create a great product, but it's about selling the whole thing around that product and what it is. And it's a saying, it's not my saying, but it's one of them things. It's about selling the sizzle, not the sausage.
But I think the name is as well.
All the scratching.
That went over my head, back round into my ear, and I was like, "Oh, right, okay." But the Shropshire Scratching Company, that means that it's local and it's like it's part of where we live. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant. It really is brilliant branding. Timmy, you had one more question to ask, and we're running short on time, but we'll get this one in.
What is your favourite thing about being an owner?
Or a boss?
What's my favourite thing? This is going to sound really boring. My favourite thing is when somebody, and this has been right from day dot of at any point of me being involved in managing people or a company or whatever, it's seeing the change, and that change from something that's probably quite mediocre, and then understanding that actually that person that's completing that task, that job, that project, that team, whatever it is, they've actually got a lot more that they're capable of doing, but they just don't know it. So the way to do that is to get really involved, really invested in that journey with that person. But the only way you can make a company successful, the only way, in my opinion anyway, this is the world according to me, the only way you can do that is if you're not invested as the head of that business, the chances of anybody else being invested are going to be zero. Because they all see that you've got the passion, you've got the love for what it is that you're going to do. And actually, when it starts to happen, that natural process will start to grow. And if you're not doing that, if you're not helping people, coaching, guiding, and driving that business in that one direction, why would anybody want to do that with you? If you're not there doing it yourself, if you're not, it's not about leading from the front. It's about showing people what it is that you're trying to do. Communication is so important.
One of the things I don't do USUC anymore, but USUC was like a really hard thing to manage because it was like we had 5 podcasts running under one network, but we had like 3 teams of us here in the UK. We had a team in California, a team in Florida, and a team in Vermont. And I'd be like, yo, can you go and do this thing for me? Can you create a logo over here? So if I said to someone, can you create a logo for this one episode that we're doing? I'd be sitting there like tapping and I'd be like, I'm going to make one as well. And I'd go and make it. And I'd be like, defeat the object of me asking them to do this thing. And I don't know if that's a control thing. I don't know if that's because I didn't trust them to make it the way I wanted it or anything. But I was never good at delegating orders or requests, I guess, and making sure that people got it right. I was just, I don't know.
I think probably my advice with any project, business, whether that's owning it, whether that's being part of it, whatever you want to look at it really. For you to grow anything, or for you to also grow, because people see it as I'll do it myself. It's easier for me to do it myself. It's quite easy. It would be easy for me to say, Tom, actually, don't do that. I'll do it. Now, whether the fact that whether I can use Adobe products or not is irrelevant. And as I pointed out,
Tom's giggling here
because I can't. That's not me. But the only way that you're going to grow is by helping other people to grow. Now that again sounds a bit cheesy and a cliche, but it's a fact that there's not one company on the planet that's grown from one person to 100 or one person to even 10 without that one person who started it being able to let go and say, right, okay, I need you to do that. And even if that comes in at maybe 60% of where you expected it would be if you did it, it means that there's actually time for you then to go and do something else.
And I guess eventually time is a bitch. We all know this. But eventually you're going to get to a point where maybe you want Tom to do your job and you take a step down. And he's got to teach someone to be the next Tom. And that's how legacies work, right? That's how it works. Yeah.
And I can honestly, there's no prompting, there's nothing there. I can say to Percy, one of the biggest conversations we had was, you're here today, and what will be next? That where do you want to go? What do you want to do with it? Because I envisage I'm sitting here today, but in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you're managing a team of people. You've still kept the family nature of what it is that we're actually involved in, but you're actually now managing a group of people and instilling that sort of community way of working into them. Because otherwise, it just won't grow. It won't grow to anybody's expectation. It'll just literally flatline. It'll be a totally mediocre product. It'll be a mediocre thing, and that's not me. I just won't do that.
Oh, this product is far from mediocre. And listen, listeners, if you want the Scratching Company, Shropshire Scratching Company, it's because of the sound. Like if you're hearing a fizzing through this episode, it's because there's rain outside and the cars going past are creating like a sss in the background. I can hear it because if you work with audio on Adobe, you'll know. Anyway, if you want your local pub or your local restaurant or wherever you are to have the Shropshire Scratching Company, if they can get in touch with you guys so you can get...
Absolutely, yeah. Percy will be right out and knocking the door, talking to
right down.
Yep.
You want to buy some scratchings?
I'll be out.
You guys are brilliant. I mean, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I know it seems like I've been fangirling you about you quite a lot, but I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like you guys have got you onto something. You know, it's organic success. It is organic success that just happened at an event because you work so hard, you know. And I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is the start of a great friendship. I feel like you guys are welcome back on the podcast anytime.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Loved it. Thank you.
And to anybody that's listening to this to own a pub or a restaurant and you want them in, get in touch with the Shropshire Scratching Company.
Percy, you're the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're scratching.
Where are you guys on social media? I mean, we did this on the podcast last time, but if people want to follow you,
Yeah. It's the
Shropshire Scratching Company.
I was going to say, we've tried to make it as easy as possible. Yeah, Shropshire Scratching Company on either Facebook or Instagram.
have you got any more questions, Timmy?
No, I think that's it.
Let me just quickly check Facebook because I did put a thing up there yesterday. I think my mum actually commented on something with her. Very quickly, we had 2 comments. Tom Corbett, he's a Shrewsbury Town fan. You guys have now been sold at Shrewsbury Town, which is a huge get. He wrote, will they be making Shropshire-inspired flavours such as fidget pie, pork apples and cider? Well, we've spoken about the pork apples. What's a fidget pie?
A fidget pie is I
I can't remember what meat's in it.
can't remember.
Is it ham and chicken?
I think it's ham and chicken.
But it's like in the style of a pork pie.
Fidget.
Yeah, it looks like a pork pie. Smells like
They're really quite nice, aren't they?
Yeah,
Let's just say there's meat in it.
It's a meaty pie.
It's a meaty pie.
From Shropshire.
Yeah.
And my mom, Alison Shortworth, says, what was the inspiration for your product and whose idea was it? We've kind of briefly, we've done that in quite in depth, but the inspiration, just having
honestly,
a terrible scratching and going, we can do this better.
Well, you don't know how bad or good something is until you've tasted the worst thing.
Yeah,
Do you?
very true.
So for me, I tasted the worst thing and thought, actually, so the real inspiration was my nan's voice in my head telling me, Brett, that's not good. You can do better than that. And that's exactly what went through my mind.
In a thick black country accent as well. Yeah.
With my nan.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You could do better than that, Brett.
What a great way to end it. Thank you so much to Cromwell's for letting us come here. Guys, pop in, grab a pint, say Alex from the Biscuit sent you. Brilliant. Thank you so much for chatting to me, guys.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
you, Timmy.
You're scratching.
Great questions there, Timmy. Great questions.
So there we go. What a wonderful episode. Thank you so much to the guys there for meeting up and chatting to us, giving us free scratchings as well. That's cool. Those guys are wonderful. I want to check in with them in the next sort of 6 to 8 months or so, see how they're getting on. I think a regular sort of friendship with them will be really good to see how far they go with this. Right, so the next episode we got up for you next week. It was with a guy that's doing a great service to Shrewsbury and parts of Shropshire as well. He mentions Dorrington and stuff, but John Edwards, he's created a bit of fame for himself as a guy who's been cleaning signposts, road signs, finger signs, now recently graffiti. He's making the world a really nice, beautiful place. And I just thought that was amazing. I wanted to get him on the podcast for a while, but I was letting him do his thing. So I met up with John on Greyfriars Bridge, and he was painting the giant iron sides of Greyfriars Bridge, and he was joined by our mayor, Alex Wagner, who had rolled up his sleeves and donned a paintbrush, and he helped paint. He did a majority of the painting, actually, I think, between me, John, and Alex. We painted the iron sides of the bridge. Now, look, I mean, I was standing over a microphone and camera, and I was doing a little bit of painting, but I was mostly there for media and wanted to share this story, of course, the story guy. And you could move for people walking across that bridge. I mean, people of all walks of life use that walkway in and out of Coleham. It's such an important part of Shrewsbury, and it connects Coleham to Shrewsbury beautifully. I know there was that uproar about them wanting to refurbish the bridge and close it, and it caused an absolute uproar. Rightly so. I mean, obviously, it would have just killed off the businesses that thrive because of that bridge. So I think a contingency needs to be put in place if they're going to try and do that again. But yeah, the bridge now looks amazing because of that. So that is one that we absolutely don't want you to miss. Listen, if this is your first time listening to Shrewsbury Biscuit, thank you so much. Please give the podcast a follow on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to come on the podcast and speak to us, you can email me at shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find out all the information you need to know about me at the website, which is theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. My website is made lovingly by our sponsors, Web Orchard. If you want a perfectly beautiful website that will function exactly how you want it for your business, band, podcast, and or other, Web Orchard will sort you out and make the best website you could ever imagine, because it did for us. So make sure you check that out. Catch us on the next one. I won't whittle on too much. I did 5 minutes on the intro. It's a lot, isn't it? I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.